Good morning. Today we are going to Bathu's new offices in Centurion, and we are going to be talking to the media about the next big things that Theo is going to be doing with his business. Bathu, the plan is I'm going to put something on my head, give myself a ponder, and then also I'm going to change it to black and white. I do try to dress according to the brand, so I'm wearing black and white, and we'll do a red lip when we get there, and I'll be wearing Bathu sneakers. I sent them my choice. They better not disappoint. So I'm the MC for today and looking forward to it. So we've just arrived at Bathu's new warehouse. They actually have just moved in a week ago. I'm not gonna show you Theo's office. Well, I kind of ran in, and it is flippin' beautiful. So it's the warehouse plus it is the office side. So my plan is going to be getting a red lip on, getting myself ready, checking my script, you know how I do. So if you're emceeing for Bathu, obviously you have to wear the kicks. So they did let me choose what I wanted to wear, and I have never seen them in person. I only saw them online, and because I have a little person, we've got two things, but you're gonna have to go to Koki's social channels and his YouTube to see the unboxing of this. So yes, they have kids range too. Are you ready for my selection? So these are the 1043. They are the latest range that's being released, and I decided to go for this specific color. Are you ready? Oh, it's prettier in person. This is what I'm wearing for today. Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't have anything in my closet like this at all. They are so adorable, and of course we support locals. So let me finish my getting dressed. I made sure my look is going with these kicks. I hope client is happy. Are you opening office and warehouse now?
Yeah.
It's both
Perfect.
office
Yeah.
and warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I do a countdown, woo, yay,
Cut,
and then
cut,
Theo and I walk in and I say,
in.
please help yourselves to
Yes.
whatever, get yourself seated or find a space to be comfortable. We give it a few minutes.
Yes.
And then we sit down.
You sit
Do I
down.
welcome Theo again, or he will just sit down?
Welcome him officially.
Okay, I'll welcome him again. This is such a momentous occasion, and I honestly feel honored whenever we are doing things as local brands. So, some of you just go told, "Ke office opening." Ne? This is not a home office. This is not a study. This is a whole, I'm going to say conglomerate. Does that sound accurate? And a brand that is definitely going global. But I'd like to invite Group CEO and founder Theo Baloyi to grab his pair of scissors. The golden, they're really made of gold.
I decided to quit my job, my fancy job at PwC, came back home with the sole vision of building a shoe brand that Africans can proudly affiliate with. But right at the core of that mission, we have a mission to reignite hope and create sustainable jobs. And that's where the story started. I deployed my savings as seed capital in the business, and a few years later we got the business that we know today as Bathu. I think throughout the journey there have been a lot of people that have mentored me, but I think that spirit, I got it from my late dad. My dad once said to me this, and it has never left me, that one, fortune favors the brave. Two, he taught me not to, and I think it's slightly out of the question, but two, not to be emotional, about your dreams. And he said to me that never ever be emotional with money and your dreams, because rejection is nothing, because it's nothing but a different lens. The brother with the camera there might be seeing something behind the lens that all of us are not seeing. So when we say no, to him, it does not mean what he sees is not there. It just simply means that the next person will say no to you. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you're feeling. Because at the end of the day, you are low when the voice spoke to you.
Yeah.
So that spirit comes from then. I was never an emotional person about my dreams. I was never a guy who wanted to prove a point and who said, I get want. You're saying no to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you. I was never that guy. I was in my own lane, believed in my own dreams. There's a story of a man who used to study in Pretoria, and we had a business store in Pretoria. And this man used to sell bags. And all the time, whenever it's got time, he would go into the store and help. Right? And help. I don't want payment, and spend hours and hours just helping, and he was amazing on the floor, and it went on and on and on and on, and he was then connected to obviously human capital, and that man today works for our business, and it's contributed greatly to the growth of our business. And I think it's a story that talks about sometimes you've got people who really get the vision, who are praying for you without you understanding. I didn't even know this man, but I could see that the store is pumping. And they were like, hey, there's this guy who comes in here and helps, wholeheartedly, there's not even one payment. And today he's one of our great leaders in the business. So I think that's an amazing story.
Every time I drive home on the N1, there's this big billboard. And then once in the capturing the billboard, it's the one just off New Road.
Yes.
It's always like a Bathu something.
Yeah.
And for me, what it does every time, it reminds me of what perseverance means. Well done.
Thank you.
But I want to ask about the biggest struggle that some SMMEs face when they start off is, now that you want to expand, it is, I'm going to need the human capital. Can I afford the human capital? Perhaps maybe at some point, I'd like you to share that with us. Was there ever a point where you looked at the finances, you're like, geez, I won't be able to pay salaries? And look at where you're at now.
Yeah, I think not necessarily I won't be able to pay salaries, but I think in the journey, the genius move that we made, and that's sort of how our business scaled, right? And I think that mindset comes from corporate, because I was in corporate and I could understand how corporates are run and the importance of that. Was earlier on, even when we were transitioning from Alex going to a mini warehouse in Sunny Hill, I knew very well that I need to corporatize the business as soon as I can. And it's interesting you say that, because the gentleman that is sitting next to our accountants, Theo and Tepo, they will tell you the day I knocked on their door, our business was a mess. It was like just any other startup story, and I had to sit with the gents and say, guys, I want to corporatize this thing. Here are the numbers, we're not looking good in terms of processes and policies, and I think they've walked the journey with us as Team MBS to make sure that we grow, right? But for me, what led to the growth of the business was reinvesting in that. The little money that we had, we couldn't obviously afford tier one service, firms and whatever, but I had to make a decision to say, I need to reinvest in the business, and that helped us a lot, right, to grow the business. And I would want to advise also other entrepreneurs, and I know that sometimes entrepreneurs, you look at human capital, you say, yo, X amount of money for human capital, I'll just drop the contract myself, you know what I mean, or I'll just do the finances myself. But that's where, a lot of businesses are challenged, because when you go through a growth curve, if you did not invest in the right structure, when you go through growth, you're going to have a lot of issues, IR issues, people issues, systems not working and so forth, because your foundation was not done right, you know what I mean? So it was not easy, obviously, to pay the retainers and to pay whatever, but that was a great move for us. So we had that, but I actually chose the latter, to say, I will take my profits, I could have decided to keep the profits and run the business however, but I said, I'm going to take the little profit that I have and reinvest in the services. Yeah.
And thank you for that question, because I think it does sometimes feel like when you are starting a business and you are a one-man or a three-man show, that you need to be Makona Zonki and you need to be able to do everything. But there is a reason why you get legal services. there's a reason why you get accounting firms. Because if there's what after God, you know who you must fear? SARS. After SARS. You know, and we laugh about it, but the thing is, we all know somebody who started a hustle. And those things, like even their personal and business finances are mixed in one. They can't even straight answer you what their profits are because they're confusing it with turnover. And I think the beautiful thing about your story is how education is never wasted. Had you not actually gone through the process, like I didn't go to school, my brother did though, I paid for him so he can do my books for free. You can also try that. But having chartered accountants, all of those things, it is a grudge payment at the beginning, but when you start to scale up, now you can say, actually, let's open in the Seychelles in Mozambique, because you already know you're compliant and everything is done. Time for a final question? All right, on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah, in closing, sorry. In closing, I think I forgot to mention this part. So, you know, part of our vision and mission is that we've actually spent time looking at the retail landscape in South Africa and corporate, and we all know that, you know, the major players and a lot of corporates, they are headquartered in other regions in the world. You know, headquartered in Amsterdam, in the UK, in the States. And I said earlier on that Africa is always at the receiving end of decisions and strategies that are made in those regions, and we just have to take it in. Whether it's a CI change, whether it's budgets, we're waiting for Amsterdam to make a decision, we're waiting for headquarters in the UK to give us a direction or to give us a green light. This headquarters is going to be here for Bathu Group. So the guys in Kenya, Bathu Kenya, the guys in Bathu UK, the guys in Bathu New York will have to wait for us in South Africa to make it call.
So I'm officially done emceeing. We have opened the Bathu Group head office. It was super fun, but now it's time for me to go to radio. Bye! I've just arrived at the radio station. It is a Friday, which means we get to do 3 fun things. Number 1 is food, and we're interviewing this World Food Festival that's taking place at Empress Palace. I tasted some of the Italian and the Greek food that's going to be happening there. And I want a nap already, but I did the smart thing, which was start with dessert first. And then we're going to be talking travel. We're going to be talking movies, things to watch. And we're going to wrap up with the upside of failure with Mark Lottering. I'm so excited. I'm not even sure if I've actually met him in person or not. Like the way he's been so familiar in our lives growing up. I feel like we've met each other, but I don't know, but I'm so excited and I'm glad that he happens to be in town to be able to do this interview. So, yay! I want you to really paint a picture of what the Johannesburg World Festival of Food and Drink is.
We blacked out the entire place to look like a theatre in the dark. And then we literally did a theatre design for every single one of the countries. I mean, we've got amazing countries that participate. So we went and did all our homework, and we've got a stall that looks exactly like a shopfront in Bavaria, and in China, in India, in Ethiopia, Italy, Greece, Lebanon, Mexico. So each one of them, so when you go to the Mexican theme, you'll meet Mexican people. You'll taste Mexican food, it's Mexican drink. And then we've even got artists, we've got dancers and singers.
Plus the upside of failure. Today we are sitting with award-winning comedian and veteran of South African comedy, Mark Lottering, in the studio.
Wow.
We take your calls at 011 883
Shots
and
fired.
the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702. Are you proud of yourself?
I am proud of myself. I mean, I will share it with people tomorrow night, how I feel, at the Lyric Theatre, and I can get their tickets through CompuTicket.
Via dollar.
Awards mean, the awards cannot define who we are.
In closing, what would you
Yes.
like to share with all the 702 listeners that you've learned in your life about failure? Because to do the job that you do, it's multiple rejections, it's sponsorships not coming through, or
Oh
shows not
yeah, how
happening.
fresh and decent is that?
Yeah.
If you are not, listen, we all make mistakes where we think that thing is for me. Now, if that thing is not for you, you will know soon enough. But when you know that what you've set your sights on is for you, and in your heart there's peace, and you so know, this is it. I've gone down a lot of roads to get to this road, but this is the road that I envision. When disappointments come, when you're on that journey, you've just got to keep pressing on. And, you know,
I just had the most like top tier of Friday shows, from the food feature to films to travel and Upside of Failure with Mark Lottering. Has your face ever been sore from like laughing so much? If you're wondering what the noise is, there's construction happening in the building. But it was so amazing. What a way to end this Friday. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell to get notifications.